Monsieur le Président, chers amis, membres des Sociétés nationales de la Croix-Rouge et du Croissant-Rouge, merci à vous tous d'être là ce soir. C'est une grande journée, mais c'est le moment de la célébration, et le moment de la célébration est le moment de la joie. Donc j'espère que nous allons passer ensemble un moment joyeux. Ce soir, j'ai le plaisir d'être le maître de cérémonie pour la remise des différents prix, les prix du volontariat, le prix de la jeunesse et la médaille Henri Davidson. Mais comme le temps nous est compté, je vais essayer d'aller assez vite. Donc, je vais immédiatement donner la parole à Ashanta, que vous connaissez tous. Ashanta est présidente de la commission jeunesse. Ashanta, vous avez la parole.
Thank you, Malika. I'm proud to be here today celebrating the recognition of the Youth Award winners with all of you. Initiated by the Federation's Youth Commission, the first IFRC Youth Award was launched in 2005 around the theme, Youth Protecting Human Dignity. The first two awards in years 2005 and 2007 were based on recognition of youth projects or services that were implemented through youth action. In 2009, the third IFRC Youth Award, the criteria changed from awarding existing projects to awarding the conceptualization of new initiatives sparked by youth in addressing humanitarian needs at local level. In line with the IFRC Youth Policy, the Youth Declaration, and the three strategic aims of Strategy 2020, the award was presented in three categories. Live our principles, celebrate our diversity, thank you, Jerry, change our community, healthy youth, make a healthy world, and adapting to climate change and addressing catastrophes. This year, a fourth category has been added to address bridging the digital divide, connecting people through technology. Many national societies closest to the vulnerable communities are deprived of the benefits of modern technology. This is what we call the digital divide. As early adopters of new technology, the role of youth in addressing this issue is essential. We are very encouraged to see youth taking the lead in this area and helping national societies to reach out to vulnerable people. A winner and a runner-up has been identified in each of the four categories. The Secretariat Technical Department were involved in the scoring and selection process with a focus on how well the project addresses innovatively the identified issue in the local community and how it empowers youth to be agents of change. I would like to thank the Secretariat Department for their support, Eli Lilly and Company for the generous support on the health category, and Lenovo and Dell for the donations of computers for the Youth Award winners. I have had the privilege to read the applications of the soon-to-be rewarded projects, and I must admit that they were truly inspirational. I'm certain that these initiatives will further youth engagement, empower young people to show their strength in addressing local humanitarian needs, and set an example for youth all over the world to do more, do better, and reach further. Thank you.
Merci Ashanta. Donc nous invitons à présent les sociétés nationales récipiendaires à venir recevoir leur certificat des mains du président. L'appel sera fait en fonction des catégories qui viennent d'être indiquées par Ashanta. Dans la catégorie « Vivre nos principes, célébrer notre diversité et changer nos communautés », j'appelle la Croix-Rouge bulgare et la Croix-Rouge indonésienne. séquence photo un peu plus longue un peu plus tard. Dans la catégorie « Une jeunesse en bonne santé produit un monde en bonne santé », j'appelle la Croix-Rouge irlandaise et la Croix-Rouge de Géorgie. Dans la catégorie « S'adapter au changement climatique et répondre aux catastrophes », j'appelle la Croix-Rouge des Philippines et la Croix-Rouge kenyane. Dans la catégorie « Combler la lacune du numérique et assurer la connexion des gens à travers la technologie », j'appelle la Croix-Rouge du Costa Rica et la Croix-Rouge arménienne. Chers amis, nous allons maintenant passer au prix du volontariat pour en savoir un peu plus sur l'histoire. Nous allons donc maintenant passer au prix du volontariat et pour mieux comprendre ce dont il s'agit, je vais donner la parole à ma collègue Jerry Lowe, qui est la chef du département Action Jeunesse et Développement du Volontariat. Jerry, vous avez la parole.
Thank you, Malika. The Volunteering Development Award was launched in 2005 at the General Assembly in Seoul, Republic of Korea. It was an initiative by the Ad Hoc Working Group on Volunteering to feature a model volunteering program by a national society. From 2007 and 2009, the Ad Hoc Working Group had extended the Volunteering Development Award to the recognition of a strong volunteer management system in enabling sustainable volunteering efforts. For 2011, the 23rd session of the Governing Board, held in April 2011, welcomed the establishment of a panel of judges comprising of the chairs of the advisory bodies and the chair of the Youth Commission to select the recipients of the Volunteering Development Award 2011 in the following 3 categories: use of information technology in mobilizing and managing volunteers, volunteer management in emergencies, volunteer management in urban environments. In communities around the world, volunteers give their time to make a difference in the lives of vulnerable people in the name of Red Cross and Red Crescent in diverse and meaningful ways. Thank you.
Merci, Jerry. Les sociétés nationales qui suivent ont été retenues par le panel selon les 3 catégories qui viennent d'être énoncées par Jerry. Elles vont recevoir leur certificat des mains du président. Dans la catégorie gestion des volontaires dans les situations d'urgence, j'appelle le Croissant Rouge pakistanais et la Croix-Rouge ougandaise. catégorie gestion des volontaires en milieu urbain, j'appelle la Croix-Rouge australienne. Dans la catégorie utilisation de la technologie, de l'informatique pour mobiliser et gérer les volontaires, j'appelle la Croix-Rouge allemande. Nous allons maintenant passer à la médaille Henri Davidson. À titre d'information et de rappel historique, Géry, merci de nous donner plus d'informations.
Thank you, Malika. The Henry Davidson Award of the International Federation was adopted during the General Assembly of 2003. The rules state that the award may be made available to individuals or national societies who have given outstanding service to benefit the Federation at large by 1, the provision of services to improve the lives of vulnerable people, and/or 2, initiatives to build the capacity of national societies, and/or 3, initiatives to develop the capacity of national societies to work together effectively, thus strengthening the Federation as a whole. The award is primarily to recognize the work of national societies or Federation volunteers, members, or staff while acting in a volunteer capacity. It may, in exceptional circumstances, also be given to those who, whilst not volunteers, members, or staff of a national society, have, in the view of the governing board, contributed to the purposes for which the award is given in an outstanding way. The president and vice presidents are the ex officio members of the awards committee. The awards itself shall be decided by the board on the recommendation of the awards committee. Proposals for nominations can be made by national societies, the Federation, the president, vice presidents, chairman of the statutory commissions, and the Secretary General of the Federation.
Merci, Jerry. J'invite à présent les récipiendaires à venir recevoir leur médaille des mains du président Konoé et leur certificat des mains de notre secrétaire général Bekele Geleta. Pour votre information, 2 personnes ont été distinguées cette année. Il s'agit tout d'abord du docteur Ivan Uzichenko, président de la Croix-Rouge ukrainienne. Let me read now the content of the certificate. Dear Dr. Ivan Uzichenko, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies takes great pleasure in honoring you in recognition of your work following the 1986 nuclear disaster at Chernobyl. You were one of the first responders helped to organize support and assist and led the medical evacuation of thousands of victims. You also helped to secure information and share it with the movement partners to allow a relief program to be developed for international assistance. You initiated, organized, and strengthened several services, including the International Chernobyl Humanitarian Assistance and Rehabilitation Program, which ran for nearly 20 years. The IFRC expresses its sincere appreciation for all your support. Thank you. Et maintenant, le docteur Kim Sung-ham, membre du comité pour le développement du Collège des infirmiers de la Croix-Rouge de la République de Corée. Let me read the content of the certificate. Dear Dr. Kin Sum Ham, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies takes great pleasure in honoring you in recognition of your lifetime's work as a volunteer with the Republic of Korea National Red Cross. You greatly expanded and improved the National Society's health service with surgery and therapy programs, thus helping to prevent and alleviate human suffering. You have also given younger generations the opportunity to promote human dignity and peace in the world by organizing various volunteer abroad programs in Indonesia, South Africa, and India. The IFRC expresses its sincere appreciation for all your support. Nous allons à présent suivre une brève allocation de remerciements qui sera prononcée par le Dr Kin Sum Ham au nom de tous les récipiendaires. Dr Kin Sum Ham, vous avez la parole.
Thank you, moderator, introducing me. The President of IFRC, Mr. Tatatake Konoe, distinguished delegate from national societies, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, it's my great honor and pleasure to stand before my dear Red Cross and Red Crescent colleagues on behalf of the respected recipient of Volunteer, Youth, and Harley Davidson Award. I would like to take this time to congratulate my co-winner for the Harley Davidson Award, Mr. Bushchenko from Ukraine, and fellow winner of Volunteer and Youth Award. 4 years ago, when I was Vice President of the Korean Red Cross, I visited Geneva for the first time in order to attend the General Assembly as a member of delegation from Republic of Korea. It was here where I experienced my very first humanitarian caucus with delegation from 187 nations for providing better service to those who need our help. It was then that I realized just how extraordinary and incredible this arena is to be able to transform the other delegation from 187 nations to our colleagues from 187 sister national society working together under common humanitarian issue. In fact, without our colleagues' strong support or recognition, I doubt that the achievement commemorate this award would have been possible. After being notified that I received the Harley Davidson Award, I reflected back on true weight of my volunteer service that I, quite frankly, dismissed at the time as mundane. It was definitely not something that, in the past, I would voluntarily recount in front of such a large audience tonight. Back in the early 1960s, when I was just an intern at medical school, I was full of the useful dream about being a good doctor. And being a good doctor seems to require some kind of altruistic activity, so I volunteered at small leprosy community. One day, I noticed that some of my patients were performing rudimentary transplant of each other's hair follicle to their eyebrow because their eyebrows had become unrecognizable with skin lesion. Thinking it was dangerous for non-professionals to perform such surgery, I volunteered to do the transplant on their behalf And fortunately, my patients were happier about outcome. At that time, I did not particularly consider the work as volunteer service or even expected to benefit much from it personally. Little did I know that the surgical skill I acquired from those days after many years could be adapted to hair transplant for people going baldness. In the end, it became a catalyst that greatly boosted my professional career as a plastic surgeon. I share this anecdote with you tonight because from this reflection, I learned that end of the day, self-fulfillment is a big part of meaningful volunteering. That, at least for me, my volunteer service was really meant for myself. At a glance, this sounds counterintuitive, but we need to remember that not everything we start with low expectation yield equally matching results. That sometimes there are actions we take that end up being unexpectedly rewarding and enlightening. For me, it was volunteering. It is for this reason that I'm very pleased that this General Assembly recognized outstanding volunteerism and youth-oriented project, because such recognition truly indicates that the movement promoted volunteering as an integral part of what we stand for. Once again, please allow me to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the awardees for this wonderful and meaningful award. Thank you. Thank you.
Merci, Dr. Kim Sum-Ham. Je vais à présent passer la parole au président Konoe pour quelques mots à l'endroit de l'ensemble des récipiendaires. Président Konoe, vous avez la parole.
Distinguished delegates, dear Red Crescent colleagues. As you know, I started my Red Crescent journey as a young volunteer long time ago. And I'd like to highlight that volunteers of all ages, young and old, deserve our recognition. Since the origin of our organization, volunteering has been the one and only foundation on which our unique and fantastic humanitarian organization has been built. Inspired by the power of volunteer service, today our movement is led by more than 30 million of people, working daily to protect the dignity and serve the needs of vulnerable people everywhere. Our volunteers provide impact beyond measure. In 2009 alone, the value of our volunteer service is estimated to be more than $6 billion US. Significant as that number is, it does not come close to reflecting the social value of volunteers who have grown up in the communities they serve. When we speak about volunteering, we must bear in mind the participation of young people. Youth are a driving force for change and innovation. None of the ambitions set out in Strategy 2020 can be realized without our young people playing a leading role. And as we have seen today, they are taking their leadership very seriously. The Voluntary and Youth Awards, as well as the Davidson medals, have been created to highlight and to recognize the great work of extraordinary people. They show us clear examples of what it means to be a volunteer and the potential impact volunteering can bring. The ceremony is a tribute to all those who make a difference in their communities, spreading the power of humanity over the most popular cities and the remotest corners of the world. I'd like to congratulate tonight's awardees for their outstanding contribution to a humanitarian mission. It is important to emphasize that they represent all of our volunteers who selflessly give their time and skills to improve the lives of their communities. Volunteers are as an embodiment of our fundamental principles, but more than that, they are the ones who bring our work to life. The decisions that we make at the statutory meetings, the resolutions we create, the policies we adopt, all make sense once volunteers are in place to translate our words into concrete actions. Our job is to empower them. 2 in 1,000 people are Red Cross, Red Crescent volunteers. This is a true value of our organization, and it is them that makes us different. It is important that we keep recognizing them and make sure that all volunteers feel that their work is worthwhile. Volunteering is one of the core themes of this year's General Assembly and International Conference. I'd like to urge you all to take this opportunity to ensure that an enabling empowerment to all volunteers is built and that volunteerism can continue to be the strong base that sustains our organization. Thank you and congratulations.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Chers délégués, nous arrivons au terme de cette courte cérémonie, mais pleine de signification, car magnifier et rendre un hommage mérité à ceux qui, tous les jours, dans des conditions parfois et souvent très difficiles, s'adonnent inlassablement à soulager les souffrances humaines sous toutes ses formes, est un devoir auquel nous accordons une attention toute particulière. À ce titre, je vous remercie de votre attention. Je vais inviter les récipiendaires par groupe autour du président et du secrétaire général à prendre des photos, mais nous le ferons après avoir visionné une courte vidéo montrant le travail réalisé par les volontaires sur le terrain. Après cette vidéo, je vous invite à vous joindre à une petite réception qui a lieu au premier étage. Donc, je vous remercie de votre présence et je vous dis à demain matin.
There will be days when we both find each other in disarray. There will be times when we both get out of line. There will be those nights when everything is going alright and suddenly you change your mind as if you've lost your way. Jelly, it's alright, you see, we've got time, you and me. You knocked on my door but found no words before my eyes. I sat the shower and wondered long how you complete my life. Then I found myself waiting on the line for your return. I think instead I lie in bed singing songs to clear my head. No concerns. I think in time we will find everything will be all